Hello dear students, welcome to NSM-LEARNING. So in this series of videos, we are discussing Christopher Marlowe's Edward II. In the last video, we talked about the group of playwrights whom we call university wits. We also learned who are the member of this group by the name university wits, and we especially talked about Christopher Marlowe and his life. And today we shall be talking about the works of Christopher Marlowe first of all, and then we shall be proceeding towards the source and historical facts and the contribution of Christopher Marlowe to the development of English drama. So Marlowe, as we learned in the last video, that he did not live for a long time. He lived only 29 years, and during this short literary career, he contributed much to the development of English drama. His great works consists of few dramas. The first great work that he published, it was Tamburlaine the Great. The great writing Tamburlaine the Great, which was published in 1587, and of course it had two parts. The first part was published in 1587, and the second part too, it was published in 88. So in this drama we would see that Renaissance spirit is nicely reflected by the playwright. Tamburlaine the Great, here we learn the story of Timur, who is the protagonist, and to his character here Marlowe reflects the Renaissance spirit of lust for power. He has Timur here is an embodiment of lust for power. Similarly, in the second play which come after this, that is the tragical history of Dr. Faustus, as Tamburlaine the Great, it embodies the lust for power. Similarly, the tragical history of Dr. Faustus, here we see that the playwright here reflects his lust for knowledge. Then in the third play, that is Jew of Malta, here by the character Barabbas, who is the central protagonist of the play, we see Christopher Marlowe here reflects the Renaissance spirit of lust for wealth. And finally, in the fourth play by Christopher Marlowe, that is in our syllabus, and which is the topic of our discussion, that is Edward II, the great historical play, which was published in 92, that is 1592. And in this drama, we would see that his love for minionship, it is exposed through this drama. So in these four dramas, we see how the Renaissance spirit is reflected by the playwright. Beside these five great plays, that is Tamburlaine the Great Part 1 and 2, then the Tamburlaine the Great Part 1 in 1587, Part 2 in 88, then the tragical history of Dr. Faustus, which was published in 1588, then Jew of Malta 1589, and Edward II 1592. Beside these five great plays, he has composed another two plays, namely Dido, the Queen of Carthage in 1593, and the Massacre at Paris, again in the same year 1593. And we must mention here that in these two plays there is the collaboration of another university wit by the name Thomas Nash, He has his hand, he used his hand, and in collaboration with Thomas Nash, uh, it, Christopher Marlowe could complete these two plays. And beside these dramas, he also composed a great poem, that is Hero and Leander, a great poem which was not finished by Christopher Marlowe, and finally it was finished by George Chapman. And another significant work, that is The Passionate Shepherd to His Love. This is a fine lyrical poem. So these are the name of works that were actually written by Christopher Marlowe. Now, dear students, we must agree with the fact that Christopher Marlowe has a great contribution to the development of English drama, especially to the development of Elizabethan drama. It is said that these group of playwrights, university wits, they actually created the path, the road, following which the later Elizabethan dramatists, they became so much popular, especially Shakespeare, whom we regard as the world's famous dramatist, the greatest personality in the history of English literature. He was also influenced by the writers whom we call the university wits, and of course Christopher Marlowe, that is our William Shakespeare, is also greatly indebted to Christopher Marlowe because of his technique, because of his writing. And Marlowe invented another significant thing, which is not here he actually invented, but he popularized the form that is known as blank verse, his contribution to blank verse. So what is blank verse? Blank verse is rhyme of, it is a rhyme of writing which is unrhymed decasyllabic lines. Unrhymed decasyllabic lines are called blank verse. Marlowe used these blank verse and he became so much popular because of the use of this blank verse. Needless to mention here that this blank verse was firstly used 20 years back. Then Marlowe used it. It was used by Sackville and Norton in the first English tragedy Gorboduc. You must know, this is a very informative question, what is the first English tragedy? The name of the first English tragedy is Gorboduc, and in that tragedy, which was written jointly by Sackville and Norton, they used blank verse. Blank verse was also used by Earl of Surrey while he translated Enid. But none of their blank words became so much popular because they were working on wrong principles. But when Marlowe used the blank verse, he was working on correct principle, and that is why his blank verse became so much popular. And later on, many writers used these blank verse and they also became popular, and this popularity of this blank verse increased day by day. Now, dear students, another significant thing which we must keep in our mind, that is the source, where from Marlowe has got the material for composing the drama, composing the play. As we all learned earlier that this play, Edward II, it is a historical play. So we must have an idea that there must be something historical incident, historical facts relating to the composition of the play. And of course, the study material, the materials for composing the play has been taken mainly from Holinshed's Chronicle. Holinshed's Chronicle, this is a very famous chronicle. A chronicle is a record where the historical incidents and facts are recorded. So Holinshed's Chronicle was a very, very famous chronicle, and many writers got materials for composing their plays and dramas from this Holinshed's Chronicle. So Marlowe mainly derives the information for composing the play from Holinshed's Chronicle of England. Beside these, he also collected materials from Annals of Fine Art, Annals of Fine Art by John Stow, uh, especially the murder of Edward II, how the king was murdered. This material, this concept, it was taken from Annals of Fine Art. And the third source for composing the play is Robert Fabian's Chronicle. So these are the source materials. Firstly, Holinshed's Chronicle, and then Annals of Fine Art, and finally Robert Fabian's Chronicle. Annals of Fine Art by John Stow, and finally Robert Fabian's Chronicle. So from these three sources, Marlowe actually collected the informations, and he uh, used his talent to give the informations a dramatic form. Of course, he did not thoroughly written down the informations and the incidents. He worked as his own, and he also altered some incidents. He also jumbled with the dates, and he created new character. He invented new incidents, new situations. Actually, he make many alterations, and invented many things in order to give the historical facts a completely dramatic form. This is why such a historical drama, Edward II, was produced, and he did it with so perfection that we undoubtedly believe that all the things has been taken from history, from the chronicles, and that is why the drama got such a worldwide popularity. So these are the things which we must remember in our mind before we start writing, before we start reading the text or the drama Edward II. So in the next video we shall be talking about the summary, the outline, plot of the drama in short, and then we shall start the text. Thank you.